What up, what up, what up? Got some light. Boom. Oh, we had the light. Bring on the light. Troy Anthony, Hector Rodriguez, Mark Allen. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to each and every one of you. How is your day so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down, comme ci, comme ça. If you speak French, a little so-so. How's the day treating you? Or rather, how are you treating it? Get a little airflow in here, a little more light. Let's bring in some light. Thumbs up, love it. I'm having a great day myself. I was up nice and early, got some sunshine, made my way to the dog park for my dogs to work themselves out. Got to the farmer's market to pick up a lot of fruits and vegetables. Made myself a nice breakfast. I still have yet to meditate, but that's coming soon. Kids2107. Have a great day to you, Lucky Fingers, as well. Did you get blueberries? Funny enough, I didn't buy blueberries. But maybe a few weeks ago, we had a ton of hydrangeas out in our courtyard. And there's three different homes here, and there's 4 different apartments. And so there were so many hydrangeas, I snipped some, threw some in a vase, and gave it to my neighbors upstairs because they needed to be snipped. Excuse me. And sure enough, last night on my patio, they dropped off some sunflowers and these huge blueberries from a local farm. And they're so good. Jimmy Logan, life is pretty darn great. Life is pretty fantastic in this moment. Last week I was pretty sick. I think I got food poisoning, so I was down for the count for the week. But it taught me a lot to be present, to feel my feelings. It taught me a lot to relax, surrender to what I was experiencing because it was quite heavy. And now I've been in this current week with more insight, more pizzazz, more energy, feeling better in my skin. So remember, a lot of times when we go through something really tough in life, the aftermath or what's to follow can be really rewarding. Just like if you're learning to build muscle in your body, if you stay the course and you eat the right foods and you keep consistent, you're going to show off some strength. Not that it's necessary. Beyonce noticed you at the club. I don't go to the clubs anymore. I've clubbed myself out. What's good? What's on the schedule? What's on people's agenda for today? Anything exciting? Or rather, are you planning for something exciting to happen in your day? Or is it just another day? I think as humans, we fail to realize that we can create the life of our dreams, regardless of where you come from, regardless of who your parents are, regardless of how much money's in your bank account. I'll be the first one to admit there's been multiple times in my life I've been very broke. But every time I was broke, I learned some lessons. I learned how to have a better relationship with money. I learned how to not take it so serious. And now, I have plenty of money in my bank account. More than enough. You see, we have to so-called trip to fall down to realize these legs are made for walking. To have even more gratitude for the fact that we have legs, because not everyone has legs. Yet, if you don't have legs, you can still get around. There's literally so much to be grateful for, and I think a lot of times people aren't directing their attention towards what's already good in their life. Me too, I don't go to the club anymore myself. I'm getting too old for that. I just love my sleep, and if I want to have a dance party, my living room is a great place to do that. Who here likes dance parties? Hot day in Cali, great messaging. Beautiful, Peter, appreciate that. The weather's, I'm in upstate New York, a couple hours north of New York City, and the last few days, including today, have been glorious. We too have been getting a heat wave like the rest of the world. The world's getting hotter. Some people believe it's a change in the climate. I don't know. But I do know that regardless of whatever I go through, I'm doing my best to develop a better appreciation for it. We got to remember that when we talk to ourselves and we say, oh, I hate that. Oh, I hate hot weather. You're literally speaking to the cells in your body, expressing how you hate hot weather, and anytime it's hot, you ain't gonna like it. So I'm doing my very best to be very mindful of the words that come out of my mouth, the actions or the inactions that I take. Am I getting enough peace in my day? Am I practicing enough presence in my day? Presence is your power. And so when it's hot outside and I'm outside, I not only give thanks for the fact that that I have working air conditioning, because my mother reminded me the other day when she was a kid, they didn't even have fans. Forget about air conditioning. They didn't even have a fan. So grateful to have working air conditioning. And also I appreciate the heat. I'm training my mind to like the heat. There's a part of me that really wants to move to Sicily. I think I'm going to move there within the year. And so it's getting hotter there too. I'm grateful for air conditioning, working air conditioning. I'm grateful that I enjoy the heat. It's been so hot in New York City, but it's cooler now. Yeah, my partner's down there for a couple days. Jeffrey, thanks for the kind words. Beautiful. Lots of love right back to you, Peter. Yes, one of the things I love about TikTok, the amount of things that I've learned, the amount of people that I've gained insight from. I set the intention that when I go on TikTok, that anything that I'm curious about learning more of, I find it. I've helped myself get out of what other people could consider trouble through people sharing experiences on TikTok. It's kind of amazing. Will you live in Sicily full time? I sure will. Although the plan is to have Sicily be home base and then travel throughout Europe. Kind of over the USA. I'm 43 years old. I've been here my entire life. I did live in Rome, Italy for 6 months back in 2011. Spent some time there with my partner. I'm not a big believer in JC, but I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate the love, but I don't really believe in JC. I'll take the heat any days. 11 degrees in Melbourne. Beautiful. Saturdays with the boys. 21 plus. Drink White Claw responsibility. Yeah. White Claws are a part of my past. If I have any alcohol, it's really a little bit of wine. I've had my fair share of days of drinking heavily, and that's not really part of my agenda these days. I crave, or I don't crave, because I'm experiencing, I desire to wake up and feel alive. Leon Guerrero. Yes, I'm doing my best to show up here more often. I'm doing my best to fill my days with impactful things, being creative. I help out a restaurant here locally a few days a week that's thriving, and I help keep it consistent and thriving. So that's been really fueling my soul. I haven't been life coaching as much because I realized that I wanted more time freedom. So now I'm investing more of my time into things that bring more freedom into my life. Did you realize that you as a human being can not only desire more time freedom, because I can imagine people here aren't loving working 9 to 5s. So many people are leaving their 9 to 5s to start something different, to follow more of their heart, to live life more freely. People should keep politics and religion to themselves. Respect for everyone. Peter, I agree. But I'm gonna respect people that come through here and send me love, because I know ultimately that person was trying to send me love. I'm not religious. I don't read the Bible, even though there's some beautiful messages in the Bible, to my understanding. They, them, Del Rey. Thanks for the kind words. Appreciate that. I'm someone that has spent a lot of time depressed in my life. I've spent a lot of time doing hardcore DRUGS. I've been lost for a big chunk of my life. I've been in a relationship with another person for 16 years. We've had our ups and downs. Somehow we're still making it work. But ultimately, overall, one of the things that I've excelled at is I've learned how to appreciate myself. And I think if any of you are feeling stuck or lost or uncertain about life, I think the number one thing personally for me that worked the best was to learn how to appreciate myself. And that begins with starting to pay attention to the way that you speak to yourself. Because I used to throw myself shade all the time because I was fueled with shame. Leon, if that's what you seek, remaining single, I think a lot of times people they prefer their alone time. I actually myself, I prefer my alone time. There's so much I've gained within the time with myself. It used to be very lonely, and now it's rewarding. We're so conditioned to label a bunch of stuff in life. We're so conditioned to smack labels on whether you're gay, bisexual, trans, human, straight, whatever. But I think what we should really be doing is appreciating ourselves just the way that we are. We're not taught that growing up, so it can be a little difficult. But no time like the present. I had body image issues for most of my life. Reasons discussing drugs or other regulated substances. The same thing happened last night. I don't know what's going on with TikTok. I used to do so many lives, and then I went on last night. I'm refraining from saying certain words, and they're talking about. I've been saying drugs. I'm not talking about that. I'm kind of confused with why they're restricting. It's like people that are spreading love and joy. They don't want people talking about that kind of stuff, which is very interesting. I just got restricted again. They just sent me a couple little messages that I'm going against guidelines when I'm talking about how to love yourself more. It's kind of confusing. It's interesting where TikTok is headed. Nevertheless, I ain't gonna stop. No one can stop me now. The only person that can actually get in your own way is yourself. I've learned to appreciate myself, and therefore I'm not in my way anymore like I used to be. Peter, grateful you're here, brother. Thalas Americo, good afternoon, good day, kind sir. Anthony, it's been so long since I've seen your lives. Pure Honey Lolo, thanks for the kind words, appreciate you. Wiggle your toes, they were being wiggled. Need to re-energize alone and to the hubby of 20 years. Wow, Peter, beautiful. I think we need to put ourselves first. Last, always, as Della Hicks Wilson says. Yes, appreciation. If you think about it, a lot of people have invested in real estate. And what is real estate? When a house goes up in value, it gets more expensive because it appreciates. I know some people that have a lot of money, but they don't buy fancy cars because they don't appreciate. They go down in value. But they've invested a lot of their hard-earned cash into something like real estate, which appreciates. And so the more we learn to appreciate ourselves, the more we go up in value, even though we're already valuable simply by being on this planet. I'm with my partner 5 years now. We've been so busy, we have not been able to take a vacation. Jonathan Kitchen, nice to see you, my friend. Congratulations on 5 years. Remember, you are the creator of your life, and if you make the time, then you will receive that time. I've been there before, where I've been so busy, not allowing myself the time to rest, relax, recoup, rejuvenate. That is very underrated, something I learned from working with a coach for years. There's something that magical that happens in the silence, in the quiet. When we're always busy, we're not paying attention to our lives. We're ignoring some important things that really deserve our attention. If we make the time for vacation, for relaxing, if we create that time, we will experience that time. I'm not voting at all this year. Nope. I don't participate in politics. If you got to remember where you give your attention to, wherever you give your attention, energy follows. I don't pay attention to the news. It's all brainwashing. It's all fear-mongering. I don't involve myself in politics. It's all brainwashing. It's all fear-mongering. All of it. I've learned to love and appreciate this heart of mine, and my life has gotten incrementally better ever since I stopped watching the news, ever since I stopped reading the newspaper, although I never really read the newspaper. But you get my drift. Ever since I stopped paying attention to all that noise, stopped watching dramatic TV shows. If you're hanging out with dramatic people, you're going to experience more drama. It's just the nature of the game. He's now going on vacation with his mom, and I was kind of upset I was not invited. Should I be upset? I do believe space is important in relationships, so I don't think there's anything. I don't think you should put yourself down or feel bad for being upset, because that is an emotion, and you deserve to feel something like that. But also remember, the time away from each other is really healthy, and sometimes that's harder to. You got to learn that by actually doing it. So I actually believe that it's okay to be upset, but I also believe that maybe the space is healthy for you, Jonathan. I like expensive things. Beautiful. That's what you appreciate. Beautiful. Very important to make the town. I plan my year in advance. Get your vacation approved early. Yes. I reactivated my TikTok after a 4-month break, and you're the first to show. Good see. Bill! You must have asked for some goodness. Asked for some goodness to return. Yeah, I was wondering what you meant, Peter. Very important to make the town. I was like, is he talking about politics in the town? Yes, it's important to plan in advance. My partner and I got married, and we took 2 years to plan it. And we had a great wedding because we took our time. There were times where I didn't feel like working on it, and we didn't. There were times that we felt like working on it, and we did. Yes, politics and religion causes divisiveness. It causes, unfortunately, people to live more in their mind and not in their heart. And I will say from personal experience that the more you live in your heart and not in your mind, that's why meditation is so powerful. The more you can meditate and be present and get out of your mind, it's actually quite amazing. It's very peaceful. Speaking of which, I got about 10 more minutes and then I got to go meditate. I wanted to jump on here. I used to do this 4 times a week. I haven't been doing it as much. I miss a lot of you guys. I miss having these conversations, helping enrich any bit of your lives that I can. Because I know what it's like to be lost and down and out. I know what it's like to feel lonely. I know what it's like to feel out of my skin and not feel loved. Even though I had a partner, even though I had family that supported me, I still didn't feel the love. But I realized one day it was because I needed to love myself. It had nothing to do with other people loving me. That was nice and all. But I had to love myself unconditionally. Remember, we're not taught this in school. Most of us have experienced generational trauma from our parents. I learned a lot of bad habits and anger because in ways not to live that are not healthy through my mom and my dad. But I'm grateful for it because I'm now more of a compassionate person because my mother was so impatient, irritant, angry. She's never been diagnosed, but I would believe it's like bipolar. I think a lot of times we get lost in the labels that we were given. Anxiety, ADHD. I think we get lost in the labels that something's wrong with us when ultimately mental health, it's just you experiencing life. Now, I have been severely unhealthy with my mental mindset, and I made sure that I did everything I could, and I'm still working on it, to make it more balanced, to make it more harmonious. I've learned a long time ago that there was nothing ever wrong with me, but if I believed that there was, then I'm going to experience that belief. There's nothing wrong with anybody. We're all on this planet having human experiences. And some of them get a little intense when we don't pay attention to it. When I don't pay attention to my life and I don't give it the loving attention, unconditionally loving attention that I deserve, then I suffer. But now more than ever, I'm giving it the unconditionally loving attention that I deserve because I believe I deserve it. I didn't believe I deserved it. I didn't believe I deserved compliments from other people. I didn't believe I deserved attention from other people. And the more I've realized my own true value, the more I've spent time in nature, the more I've said nicer things to myself and left judgment out every time I looked at myself in the body, in the mirror, the better my life's got. Yes, beautiful. You do as well, Peter. Have a beautiful day, my friend. Is masculinity bad? I feel like it's frowned upon to be a man, self-conscious what I do. Sean, I don't think masculinity is bad. But if you're not in balance with your feminine side and your masculine side, then people tend to suffer. But you got to remember, we're kind of taught that like masculine is men and feminine is women. But feminine is more loving, compassionate, caring, kindness. Where masculine is more strength and courage and bravery, inner power. And so when you are courageous to step into your life and learn how to be unafraid, and you're also generous and kind to yourself and to others, then there's the balance. But I think a lot of us get lost in more masculine and feminine. Like, I'm a queer man, and I've been more masculine, and I think because as a kid I was always trying to hide it. And one of the things I've been working on the past handful of years is leaning more into my feminine side. I was always a kind person, but I wasn't very kind to myself. I caused a lot of debauchery. I participated in a lot of debauchery. I drank heavily amounts of alcohol. That's literally poisoning your gut. I still drink alcohol, so I'm not throwing shade at anyone that likes alcohol. But after drinking a hell of a lot of it, I drink far less because it does a disservice to me rather than a service. Bill, I'm not coaching as much. I've taken everything down. I am not coaching as much. I'm actually not accepting any new clients at the moment. The only thing I have to offer is my material that I share on TikTok Live, and I've started a podcast with a friend called Yes King. It launches a new episode every Monday. If you click the link in my bio, it will bring you to the Yes King, where you can download and listen to us talk. He was someone I used to party hardcore with in New York City, and we've reconnected a few years ago. He became a client. He found me on a TikTok Live. He became a client. He's worked through a lot of his traumas, his dark sides, and now he's doing impeccably well in his life. And we've shared a lot of our darker sides with each other and finally realized, let's share it with the world. So a lot of what I talk about on here is what we talk about within the community, within the podcast. So again, if you've been following me for a while and you're interested in coaching, I'm not accepting any new clients at the moment. I'm choosing to use my time to create more time freedom in the future. Rather than fill my calendar with a lot of clients like I have over the past few years, I'm trying something different. I still coach a little bit, but not nearly as much because I'm choosing different things in my life. But what has helped me being a coach is helped me invest in myself, curate a better quality of life for myself. I'm gay and I was bullied, but I do like the masculine side as well, my feminine. Beautiful. Appreciate all of that you are, Sean. I think we get lost when we listen to other people. There's a woman out there named Lisa Nichols, and she said something that struck me one day, and I've never forgot. And it's that idea that other people's opinion of you ain't none of your damn business. And the more I sat with that, I was like, other people's opinion of me ain't my business. They could think I'm fat. They could think I'm ugly. They could think I'm cute. They could think I'm handsome. They could think I'm rude. Their opinion of me ain't really any of my business. And again, the more I focused on appreciating myself, rising my own self up, I don't care to fit in. I don't care anymore that I make up words because I wasn't the brightest of kids growing up and would say a word that didn't exist in the dictionary. I laugh at that stuff now. I don't take it personally anymore. I appreciate when I'm a goofball. My 11-year-old niece used to live close by, and every time I'd hang out with her, they're like, "Don't be so goofy with her." And I said, "Mind your business." It would be one thing if I was being rude and crude to her, but I was being a goofball because I don't take life so serious. And the more I did it, the more she broke up her seriousness. And she laughed. And it's not like I'm here to change her life, but I think a lot of us get so tunnel visioned in how we're supposed to live, and how we've been taught is not right. Because if it was right, or it was beneficial, or it was working, more people would be happy. Right? Appreciate you, Sean. Thanks for your kindness. More people would be happy if what we were taught in school, what we were taught from our parents, was right. But if you think about it, what is right and wrong? I don't live by the rules that society has taught me. I live by my rules. And that's, if it's not based in unconditional love, compassion, and kindness, I don't participate. Akira Del Rey. Good day, kind human of all kinds. If it's not based in unconditional love, compassion, and kindness, I do my very best not to participate. If something angers me, I learn to breathe it out. I learn to appreciate the anger. It's when we judge the anger, when we let the anger get out of control, we feel out of control. Akira, congratulations. I saw a speech recently about this woman, and she was kind of talking this whole idea of being in the closet and how the closet is no place for humans to hang out. It was a beautiful passage where the closet's meant to keep stuff stored away in the dark. But you're not supposed to be in the dark. Maybe for some time you're supposed to be in the dark, but you're meant to shine. You're meant to be seen and heard. And a lot of times when we're kind of bullied or told we're less than as a child for what we believe in, we think we should live in the dark. We think we should live in the closet. But we all have so much more potential to shine. My Greek mother still wants grandchildren. She can still get grandchildren. And last time I checked, Akira, because my mother used to want grandchildren too, and I felt that pressure. It's not up to her. This is your life to live. I believe that we don't owe our parents nothing. And if we're generous and kind to our parents, that's a plus. I love my family, but I don't communicate with them that often. I don't believe we have to. I feel the pressure to call my parents once a week out of my own generosity. But the conversation gets dull and boring. It's not inspiring to me. I choose to spend time with people that inspire me and invigorate me. That's my own personal choice. My life has gotten incrementally better because I make those choices, because I'm choosing me. I don't owe nobody nothing. But again, it's part of the generational trauma, or it's part of what we've been taught in society that, you have parents, you have kids, you have a family, you have a home. I don't own a home, and I'm happier than a pig in poop. I don't have any kids. I have 2 Jack Russell Terriers. They're a handful. I've learned how to be more present. I've learned how to be more patient. I've learned how to be a better human being because I got challenged to have 2 very smart dogs that needed to run, that needed attention. Uncle Jack, thanks for the live. Thanks for the like. See, the more I learn to appreciate myself, the better quality of life that I'm living. I don't watch the media. I don't watch the news. All that negativity is just noise. And it's just designed to keep you small. I used to want to be successful, or I used to want to be like a celebrity. I want to enrich the lives of a lot of other people. That doesn't mean that I need to live a life where I'm followed by paparazzi all the time. That to me sounds terrible. But I know that a lot of people that seek that crave that, they just want to be seen and heard. That's it. Because most of us weren't allowed the space to be seen and heard. Oh, don't cry about it. We internalize a lot as children, and we go through hypnosis brainwaves until we're like 13. And so from like, what, I think like 5 or 2 to 12 or 5 to 13 or something, we are in that brainwave of soaking in all that we experience. The media keeps pumping things out on men to scare women and hate men more. If it's fueled with hate, it doesn't deserve your attention. What's happening in the world is the energies in the world. This might be confusing to some of you, but the exactly, if you're feeding the narrative, you're going to experience it and you're going to feel it in your body. So how about we start creating our own narrative of the life that we desire to live? I'm living proof it's possible. I used to have body image issues. I used to party my face off. That was all part of my past. And now I really appreciate the majority of what's in my life. The people that are in it. My home. My daily activities. I'm inspired every day. But that's why it's important not to discount all the dark stuff. You're supposed to experience the dark stuff. You're supposed to be afraid for a little while. But you're not supposed to live in freedom. You're not supposed to live in fear, your whole life. It's just some lessons. It's not a death sentence. Thanks, Akira. Mind you, I came out of the closet when I was 16 and I'm 43. That was a long time of learning how to appreciate myself. I disliked my body most of my time on this planet because I grew up a husky kid. And then I got all this attention from people and didn't believe I was deserving of receiving it. I know that sounds backwards, but it's the truth. It wasn't until a few years ago that I finally went through enough personal development that I finally felt good. Not great, but good in my own skin. And I've been able to diminish that voice of I'm too fat or this, that, or I'm unhappy with the appearance of my body. It's not in my circumference of my attention any longer. But so nice to see all of you. So grateful that you're all here. Akira, once again, keep learning how to love yourself, my friend. Congratulations on the coming out. That's amazing. Remember, even if you're so-called straight, there's still things you can come out of. There's still things you can experience more of. Brighter days. I love the fact that I'm gay. Wasn't always the case. But it's given me an opportunity to feel different and appreciate my difference. That took a long time. And so if we can appreciate ourselves just the way that we are, whether we're 200 pounds heavier than we would like to be, the more you can appreciate yourself just as you are because you are perfect just the way that you are, that's all that matters. Simon, I'm about to sign off, my friend. So nice to see your little face in that little tiny circle. Remember, every moment of every day is a new moment to try to care a little more for yourself, to practice being more present. I'm telling you, the more you can be present with your life, the better it gets. That is gold right there. So if you're uncertain where to start, TikTok is a great place. How do I become more present? What do you do when someone is not making you a priority, but you were making them a priority? You make yourself a priority. I think a lot of times when we're experiencing someone not making us a priority, it's because we're not putting ourselves first. The people in our lives are mirroring what we believe or what we think or what we feel about ourselves. So if we're not putting ourselves first, we're going to have other people in our life remind us of that. So it's important that we do things for ourselves. It's very kind and generous of you to put someone else first and make them a priority. But a lot of times we get hurt expecting someone to give us the same in return. This was a hard lesson for me because I felt like when I was working on being kinder to myself and other people, I would be kind to so many people and so generous with my thoughts, my actions, my words. And yet I feel like people still beat me up. I kept going. I kept trying. But we must put ourselves, I know it's hard. Nobody said it was going to be easy, Simon. But I promise, if you can wake up every day and set the intention to care a little more than you did the previous day for yourself, that's progress. The fact that you even gave it some thought and attention is powerful. It's supposed to be a process. You're not supposed to wake up one day and be like, oh my God, everything's different. It's not the way it's supposed to be. Now, so you're getting into good questions, Benedictus, and I'm about to sign off. How did you establish? I'm going to answer this one last question, then I got to go. How did you establish boundaries to make yourself a priority? When my partner would invite me out to stay out late and go dancing, and I would say no, and he would be like, "Come on, what's your problem?" I said no. That's an example. Get up early in the morning to try to meditate once again. I got it down to a science now. It's easy for me, but it was hard for a long time. I tried again. That's putting myself first. Spending some time in the quiet and writing in my journal about the kind of life that I wish to live. And also observing how I'm currently feeling. Because when we do those kind of exercises and maybe we're angry or we're lost or we're frustrated and we write down what we're experiencing, that's taking something that's inside of us and we're seeing it from a different view. And that exercise in itself is very healing, rewarding. Because then we can start to detach from what it is that we're internalizing. That is putting yourself first. That is doing some shadow work. Taking some time out of your day to go for a walk in nature without your phone. So you're giving attention to what's around you, what's real, and not this little electronic device that people are addicted to. That's putting yourself first. That's curating time for you to be more connected with what's actually real in your life. Nature. Have you ever heard that saying, like you can go in the middle of the forest where there's no Wi-Fi, but you'll develop a better connection with yourself? Remember, we've been taught that we're supposed to do all these things to stay busy, to be liked, and that's just not true. It's good to be of value and give yourself over to service and be generous to other people, but too often people are doing only that and not giving themselves that attention. That loving attention. Yes, Gavin. When I got tired of putting myself second, that's when I became first. And remember, it's not a competition. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's just about caring enough for ourselves that we take better care of ourselves. We're more thoughtful on the foods that we eat. Can you upload this live? This is great information. Sure. But Della Hicks Wilson says it the best. Tend to the relationship that you have with yourself first, last, and always. That's the magic. Well, I added that in right there, the magic. But that is the magic. But I must go because I'm cooking my dog's food and the timer just went off. So food's ready. It's time to turn off the stove. And but love to see you all. So great to see you all. Benedictus, Simon, Gavin. I'm doing my best to show up here more and more often. But I appreciate you all. Keep up the good work. Keep learning how to love yourself better or more than the previous day because you matter and your life gets incrementally better. You don't realize that more you dedicate time to yourself, you heal the world. That's how you help change the world. The more you can raise your own so-called vibration, that affects hundreds of thousands of people. But when we hang out in this lower vibration, that affects hundreds of thousands of people. We want to raise our vibration. Feel it, feel it. Great to see you all. Hope you have a beautiful day. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Until we meet again. Later.